Acharya Pranam. Acharya, at work, we are expected not to show our emotions. But when we do that, the emotions keep on piling up inside as well. And then there's always a risk that they may be expressed like vehemently straight away. How should we go on as a general rule for managing the emotions, especially? Uh, how should we go on with managing the emotions? Is there a rule or something where to show, where not to show, how to empty yourself out, something like that?
No, it is not that at work you aren't supposed to display your emotions. At our workplaces, at our usual workplaces, we are supposed to only conceal the emotions that are not aligned with the organizational goal. If you display enthusiasm, who is going to forbid you? The company will be very happy. Here is one enthusiastic performer. So it is not emotions per se that are discouraged. It is only a particular type of emotion that is inadmissible. And what is that type of emotion? That which expresses your angst. That which manifests your anxiety, your suffocation. That you cannot express. All other emotions you can express in a very emotional way. Motivate your team. Your boss will be very happy. Is that not so? Go and express your loyalty and dedication towards the company. In an emotional way. Who would object? Or would they? They won't. What's the kind of emotion that is circumscribed? Kindly do not display how depressed you are. Kindly do not express how you desperately want to run away from this organization. Now, that is not something that you can publicly reveal. So they'll say, no, don't be emotional, don't be emotional. You know very well that your work is nonsensical, worthless, soul-sapping, heart-wrenching. But don't let that out. Keep the secret. And if by any chance you are unable to contain yourself and the beans are spilled, then you are labeled as emotionally weak. You ask me how to manage emotions. I'm asking you, where are the emotions coming from? You have squarely placed the blame and concern upon the emotions. You do not want to talk at all about the nature of your job. Now that is something that you say is not open to debate or discussion. Why? Because the interests of the body and the ego are associated with the job. So I don't even want to put it under the scanner. It's a can of worms. If I raise the issue, there would be only worms all around. So rather than discussing the real thing, the disease, you are asking me how to suppress the symptoms of the disease. If your job is real and your involvement in your job is real, then all your emotions would be real and would be really welcome. Is that not so? Is that not so? On the sports field, a player tries really hard to win and then loses. You had the Cricket World Cup, now you have the Wimbledon tournament going on. And many a player do break down on the field or on the court. Is that considered a disgrace? Is that considered a disgrace? Not at all. If they complete a century or take a beautiful catch or win a set, players openly express their emotions. Is that a disgrace? No, obviously, if you lose a point, you cannot throw your racket at the umpire. We are not talking of those things. But we must look into the nature of most of the modern day jobs. You are spending your life there. 8 hours, 10 hours a day, the entire week. Don't you want to know what that job is doing to your interiors? Is that a small thing? We profess to be clever. We are proud of our arithmetic. Do we ever calculate the total cost associated with serving a job? We get the paycheck and we are quick to debit it. We say, well, this is the amount that I am getting from this job. Have you ever clearly and honestly calculated how much are you losing by being in that job? Your salary figure is a number, easily accountable, easily processable. So you take it and put it on the Excel sheet. And you say, this is what I have gained. But there are other figures as well, other factors that are not probably equally smoothly monetizable. But if something is not easily monetizable, does it not exist? What is the cost of your suppressed emotions? I'm sorry, but most of us are doing jobs that don't pay us anything. Rather, we pay a lot to be in those jobs. The net takeaway from those jobs is highly negative. So much for our cleverness. It appears, apparently, ostensibly, that let's say you take away ₹1,00,000 per month from your job. The reality might be that you are actually paying your organization 2 lakhs every month from your pocket by being in that job. 1 lakh is what you earn. 3 lakhs is what it costs you to earn 1 lakh. 1 lakh is what you earn, and 3 lakhs is what it costs you to earn 1 lakh. What's your monthly takeaway, sir? What do you take home? Depression, anxiety, ulcers, a wasted life. We love these figures, no? Take home. CTC. Just as you calculate CTC, also calculate CT me, cost to me. But we are people of numbers. If something is not smoothly, easily convertible to numbers, we feel it does not exist at all. If your life turns loveless by serving these kind of jobs, you don't even want to factor in the lovelessness. Because your commerce and accounting books do not teach you how to convert lovelessness into a number. You do not know what is the cost of that lovelessness. So you just keep it away. You say, no, this is not an accounting variable at all. Let's not consider it. It's almost like saying that because you do not have the means to measure the weight of an elephant, so the elephant does not weigh at all. Your usual weighing machines will not be able to measure the weight of an elephant. So you come up with the fantastic conclusion that the elephant has no weight at all. Small weights, 15 kgs, 20 kgs, 70, 80 kgs, we are easily able to measure on our common weighing machines. So we factor them in. The huge ones, well, our measuring mechanisms fail in front of them. So clever are we that we just ignore those weights. Let's say there is a huge lift, an elevator. It says maximum weight 600 kilograms. 6 of you weighing 500 kgs are already in. And then an elephant walks in. And you want to ignore the elephant. Why? Because you do not know the weight of the elephant. So you say it's okay, let the elephant walk in. And then you ask, why is there a sinking feeling? Everything appears to be sinking because you are deliberately, mischievously, dishonestly ignoring the elephant in the elevator. Everything will sink. Joy is an intangible. be, therefore, just do not put any effort in calculating the tangible cost of joylessness. Ecstasy is an emotion, sir, is it not? Wow. When you say you want to manage emotions, are you saying that you want to manage your expressions of ecstasy? No. That's not what you mean. When you say you want to manage your emotions, you are saying you want to manage what are popularly called as negative emotions. And even in the negative emotions, you probably do not mean jealousy, etc. You mean?
It's the anger, the frustration.
It's the anger, it's the frustration. It's the story of our lives. We expect the right things to happen at wrong places. You expect understanding and listening and love at places that are designed to be ruthless, loveless, soulless. It were not such a big problem if such places were an incidental part of our life. If such places were like the neighborhood park that you visit once in a while for a stroll. But it is a big problem because such places are central to our lives. We spend 3/4 of our waking life there, don't we? Now, what is the quality of your life if 3/4 of it is being spent in a place that is inherently inhuman? If it is turning you into a machine, if it's a dehumanization factory, what are you getting by being there? And the nature of the workplace, more often than not, is dictated by the nature of the work itself. What is the work that your organization is doing? How much of heart is there in the line of work that your organization has chosen? Is it not true that so many industries, I'm not even talking of companies or businesses, entire industries thrive just on they exist only as long as man exists. On the superficial levels of his being. The day man starts living in a deeper way, those businesses will fall off. Is it not true? Is it not true that so many businesses and so many professions actually require that the customer or client is foolish and stays foolish? And if the customer or a client actually gains wisdom, then the business will have to shut down. It is quite unlikely that a lawyer will teach you tolerance, peace, and compromise. Might just happen, miraculously, but unlikely. It is quite unlikely that an insurance agent would teach you fearlessness and freedom from insecurity. And why talk of the poor agent? It's a thing with that entire industry. Or an arms manufacturing giant. Is it going to pray for global peace? Or a fizzy drinks company selling carbonated drinks? Is it going to pray that the world switches to healthy drinks? Fresh juices? Is that going to happen? But look at the number of people that they employ. We are talking of giant MNCs here, right? And the very existence, let alone profits, of those firms depend on the customer remaining foolish. They would actively want to promote foolishness among their customers. And that's why they need to advertise so much. Have you ever wondered how much of the processing power of your smartphone do you actually use? Most people do not use even a small fraction of the processing power of their laptops or their smartphones. But they still change their mobiles, their handsets every year. What for? If people had any wisdom, there would be so many companies that would go bankrupt. Obviously, in such places that are founded on falseness, anything that reveals the falseness of the place would be hardly welcome. They would want all their employees to put on a pretense. They would say, act as if you all are happy. Take, for example, schools. You know what kind of industry that is. If the parents had any wisdom, what would happen to the schools? Isn't it imperative for the schools that the parents remain astoundingly foolish. Otherwise, who would pay lakhs and lakhs to a so-called international school? We know what is the real value that a school delivers. We know how much of that is purely superficial. That's one mark of a toxic organization. People would be all required to wear a certain uniformity. Speaking your heart out would be unwelcome. You would be encouraged to be a regular fellow. You know what is meant by being a regular fellow? Not one of the outliers. The moment you digress a little, you will be called a maverick. And they'll say, no. We are a very disciplined and professional organization. We do not want mavericks. We want disciplined machines. You're not in the office to talk heart. You are in the office to talk work. And that clearly means that there is no heart in the work. And that's why it's required to have a watertight separation between personal and professional life. That's the second mark of the toxic organization. It will say personally you can be anything, but professionally you must be a regular guy. The real organization will find it very difficult to keep your personal and professional self separate. You want to be at one of such places? Really? What's your C to me? Your bank statement does not represent the totality of your life. Please. It only represents something that is numerical. It does not represent what you really have or what you are really losing. Your bank statement is really a very, very poor and an extremely partial indicator of your riches. It represents actually nothing at all. If you are relying on your bank statement to know your net worth, you probably require a course in higher arithmetic. What else is spirituality? It's a course from the mathematics department. It's called higher arithmetic, so that you can learn to add and subtract rightly.